Welcome to the Endless Show, first ever, starring your co-host Kobe, over co-host Angel, marketer, and we got the special guest Boady. Say what's up.
What's up, guys? So today we're bringing you some Vega updates, including some of the up-and-coming UBAE events and UBA 13. And we have a very cool tournament coming in for Vale. It's a $100 tournament. It's something of the first we've seen with Vega branching out to new games. Should be something awesome to see, awesome to watch. For a shooter, I think, to have a proper good league. But there's also the Thrill of the Fight 2 updates. What do you guys think about those?
I mean, I'm liking the fact they added out cosmetics, they added actual new content. Because honestly, our community has been starving for months. Because the last update was like in November.
Yeah, with the full release.
Like, I swear, before this update, leagues are hanging on by a branch. Like, they were like starting to fall off. But with this new update, I think there can be new ideas, new topics, new everything that can be brought on, you know? What do you think about this, Angel?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Kobe here. Just as things started to get a little stale within the game and the community itself, we're seeing steps in the right direction. You know, the big updates to VGA, UBA 13, UBAE, and the new Vale tournament, as well as the Thrill of the Fight 2 update. It's adding a bunch of new things and keeping the game fresh still.
Yeah, I have to agree. Me personally, really love the new venue, the Philly Stadium, with it being the first outdoor stadium ever introduced. And it's got the biggest crowd yet. I don't know how that's going to affect headsets, like connection to the server or whatever, but I think it's still something amazing to see. I haven't had any problems with it, and overall it just looks amazing. It's different. So
yeah. We are moving on to the UBAE upcoming playoffs here. The two rematches between SHEATH Elite and Champs United, and Junk versus Muds. How do you guys feel about these matches, starting with you, Kobe?
I'm liking SHEATH versus Champs. You know, last time these boys fought, Champs actually took the win, which was a huge upset. And I'm very, very interested to see how SHEATH comes back from that loss. And personally, I think they're gonna win because I love the SHEATH Elite. Know that. What about you, bro?
Yeah, but I mean personally, I love the underdog story. With Champs coming in as barely making it, but still having that win over SHEATH. Plus, they have an even better team this time around with Cam, Iamor, and Adonis. Me personally, I think it's going to be a whole different matchup. I mean, Iamor taking the win after losing to Maki the first time to win that all was something I absolutely loved. He learned, he fought well, and did what he needed to do. But with Adonis here, I think the matchups are just going to be so much better off for all of them that I think they're going to take it again. Maybe, again, a close 3-2, but winning is all that matters in here. If you lose, you're out. You're done.
Okay. Angel, what do you think about this?
Yeah, no, I would have to agree. I love just how unpredictable and sick the matchups like these are, because on paper the matchup does not tell the full story. Obviously, we saw Team Champs United walk out with the upset last time, and I think that really demonstrated just how strategic it is when it comes to these UBAE matchups at getting the right people to fight the right people, you know. And me personally, I think I do have SHEATH Elite making the adjustments and coming out on top, but Champs United has just as much as a chance as it did last time to take the victory here.
But let's not forget, both of these teams, I'm pretty sure, have lost to Jayunk. I don't know if it was Champs by forfeit.
Junk.
Well, I just say Jayunk, but yeah, Junk.
Okay.
But I think Champs had the forfeit loss to him because they couldn't field the three. But we saw the SHEATH versus Jayunk, and we saw Smoke versus Ronan. And we can tell that Smoke does have his weaknesses. And I think Adonis fights very similar to Ronan in a sense. It just, I think, a bit more technical and a bit more power. So that matchup right there might be the winning token for Champs.
No, I would have to agree. I like the direction that you're really thinking in, man. This little guy Ronan, man, he's been popping off, and he's been the embodiment of the David and Goliath story, being the shorter man taking down these elite pound for pound top fighters. If I just list them off right now: Cam, Smoke, Hello World, Boady, Bing, and more. I mean, those are all 5 people who are arguably in the top 15 pound for pound. He's whooping all their buns. So I think the fact that he's doing which is extremely impressive. I mean, decapitated you in the second round, Bodie.
Yup.
Nah, I'm just messing
It was
with you.
third
But
round.
yeah.
It was the
I'm
third
sorry.
round.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm
he's
just
still
got
messing,
hella rolled in
messing
the
with you,
second.
man. Yeah.
He got hella
Yeah,
rolled in the second.
I don't know if third round's right. Your brain might not be all the way there after that
No,
fight. But
I know.
Kobe,
it was
how
the
do you
third
feel?
round. I know
or,
it was the third round. I know, because that's when my mind
Okay.
went blank.
Okay.
What are your predictions on Junk versus Muds, man?
I mean, if I gotta say between Junk versus Muds, hot take, I think Junk takes it. You know, because they got not only does they got Ronan, they got Nat Boy as well. That boy's solid too.
Yeah.
And Albo not as solid as Ronan. Nat Boy got the technicality. He's doing well, man. He's doing well in the UBA for an amateur lightweight. That's like, no offense,
Lightweight? I
that is a
believe he's
very
lightweight.
big obstacle to go
Michael
over with that status.
Yeah. How do you feel,
That
Bodie?
is-
Well, me personally, we've all heard it before. You can never put the same fighter against Jordan. And I'm really looking forward to him against Ronan again. I mean, we heard it against me, but I mean, it didn't come true. But we've seen it with him against Yo Boy. And we've seen him against a lot of other people where that second matchup comes around and Jordan's like a complete different person. He's on another level from the first time around. So, me personally, with them having the draw last time, I think Jordan's going to have the upside of this one. And I think that's just going to be the huge morale boost, the huge upset of the whole entire tournament, seeing Ronan lose for the first time.
I mean,
Solid take there.
I don't know about solid. You know, Jordan is good at adaptability.
I like the
but
thought process.
if you have a really big tsunami coming towards your city and then washes over your city, what are you gonna do to protect the city if it comes back in a week? Nothing. I think Ronan's gonna kill
It's been longer
Jordan
than a week.
again.
It's been
Hey, a
way
month
longer
too.
than a
What
week.
are you gonna do with the city? Nothing's gonna happen. Same result. I think Ronan's gonna kill Jordan. I think Ronan can kill anybody in this tournament. Realistic.
Ooh,
I think the
we've
only thing
seen
holding Ronan back is his
highly
team.
confident.
That is a good take, I think. Ronan being held back by his team. But again, you have to think. The tsunami hit, and they defended it well. Jordan took the draw with Ronan, winning 2 rounds, but getting dropped once to get the draw. And Jordan had the damage in that one round that he got dropped.
Yeah, but you acting
Clearly
like
showing
Ronan
he's
can
So
adapt
he-
either.
Well, yeah, Ronan will adapt, but from what we've seen, he doesn't adapt too much. He's usually fighting the exact same way as normal. So I think Jordan is going to have the better adapting, the better shot selection this time around, and just overall, the better idea getting into the fight. So I think they're going to set up their sandbags, they're going to get their dams set up, they're going to evacuate the citizens before, and they're going to survive this tsunami easily. So, I mean, with on the topic of these UBAE teams, we've also got some of them in the coming up UBA 13 card, with the co-main event being myself versus a SHEATH Elite member, Blue, for the title fight. So what do you guys think about that? I want to hear your guys' thoughts before I give any input.
Well, I'll say that Bloop is a very dominant champion, right? But you did have a really good run. I'll give you that respect. You did beat Jordan.
I do.
You had. I'm saying had because you might lose this one and your run will be trashed. But you did have a good run. You beat Jordan. You beat Yomo. 2 good, legendary unks in this community. But honestly, I think you're gonna suffer against the outboxing of Blue. Realistically, because no one compares like that. Because you don't go 7-0 and 0 in the UBA off of pure cheese. There's no way you do that. Oh no, you know what? J Bach is an example, but we don't talk about J Bach on here. You know.
Yeah.
The box.
Yeah. Angel, what do you think?
Box. Man, I would have to agree. I believe that this matchup is very competitive and very close. I mean, just a month ago, honestly, if you would have made this matchup, a lot of people would have laughed at it. I don't think they would have took Boady as a serious competitor. But he's really been playing into what Bloob is good at. I mean, he's going the distance in his fights. He's showing that he's not just like a 1-2 round knockout machine. He can keep a consistent pace for 5 championship rounds. And honestly, Boob has been a little bit on the decline with the inactivity, with the UBAE performances, with the lack of self-confidence recently. This is an extremely compelling and competitive match that if I had to just give a prediction on, I think we will see Boady walk out with the gold, and I think a new heavyweight champion will be crowned at UBA 13.
Thank you.
Damn, that's a pretty hot take. But Boady, what do you think about this? That it is your fight, you know. We'll
I mean, of course, it's not going to be unbiased. I mean, I'm in the fight. I'm going to believe I'm going to win. But I can't just give Bloob no credit. He's got the record. He's got the status. He's also got the IQ. A lot of people talk about that, like you guys just said. His outboxing IQ, how he moves in the ring, how he avoids the shots and hits the shots. If he's locked in, if he gets confident during that fight, it's going to be a hell of a different fight from fighting him with him just wary. He doesn't want to do much. He's nervous. So I hope for the best that he comes out strong, comes out confident, because I want it to be a good fight and not end very quickly. So all in all, it should be a good fight. It should be a very good fight.
Yeah.
I hope it is. But let's talk about the main event of the evening, which I'm very excited about. Because we got Nakota, the Maple Leaf Demon, versus Maki, the reincarnation of Doom. Now, I want to hear y'all points about this, because this is a banger from what I'm seeing from my eyes. This is a banger. Angel, sorry you.
Man, this fight I think is an example of one of the best things about this game. That on paper, like I said earlier about the UBAE matchups, what you see on paper will not tell the full story about the fight. Maki, in just about every department besides power, has the advantage. I believe he's faster. I believe he's smarter. I think he works better on the inside and the outside, irregardless of the power. But Nakota, if he can land that nuclear left hand, all it takes is one, man. Maki could be dominating 2 minutes and 59 seconds of a round, but if Nakota just lands one, he could take the knockdown to take the lead in the round. All in all, with all that being said, I do definitely have Maki winning. I do believe that with his experience, he can weather whatever storm Nakota will throw his way, and he will probably prevail and become the new light heavyweight champion.
What about you, Boady?
You see, I very much agree with that, but it's more than just the aspects. I mean, Nakota having to make the more recent switch since UBAE started, and with the new top 5 campy joystick rule and all that, he's made the switch to room scale, which I'm very happy he did. I feel like that already in turn makes him a better fighter, but his movement, he's really got to work on that if he wants to stand a chance against Maki. And with the new PTC update, I believe we'll be on UBA 13, even with the new live update with all the cosmetics, I believe it really nerfed him enough, especially with the slap detection. Not calling him a slapper, but he still has a slight hindrance to do that.
He tends to do so.
He tends to still do it. It's ingrained in his memory now to forever do it. But if he can show out that he's got technique, he's got that power like you said he did, I think it could be a huge upset, because I know a lot of people are having Maki win this. But all it takes, like Angel said, is one shot to drop someone in this version. We saw it with Jay Baka versus Rotan with 154 damage in one shot.
I wish we can get a photo of that right now, because the way that punch was delivered.
I will send Castle. I will send Castle Trend's reaction and the photo of it.
The brain meat out.
So you can put it in post editing, and you should be seeing it about here.
The karate pose.
Hopefully, if he actually does it. If not, then I look stupid. But it's gonna be a really good fight. If Nakota can't figure it out, he's gonna get knocked out early, I believe. But if he does, it should be really competitive and close.
Now, my thoughts on this, I do believe Maki's gonna win. I'll put that on the table. But Nakota deserves the respect, right? He is a pretty good champion, I will say. He did beat Aura, which is a very good opponent. He beat Sage, who was the champion. But still, like Maki's a well-defined champion. He's in one of the best fights of the UBA. Cam versus Maki. Oh my God, was that amazing, right? That's why with this information, I will say round 3 to 4 TKO for my boy Maki, the reincarnation of Doom.
Genuinely though, we saw crazy performances from both fighters for both the co-main and main event. This card is going to be crazy. The playoffs will be crazy. So I just can't wait for the upcoming weeks that we're going to be seeing.
Yeah.
And then right after all that, we have the Vail tournament on the 29th of May for the $100 tournament. It's gonna be a blast to see a new change up for Vega, and I'm hyped. There's nothing else I could say.
I will say they're bringing a lot of new guys for that Vail tournament, but I have never seen before. So we're gonna see some pros in this tournament. It's not gonna be like a bunch of little British kids, yes, just running around shooting their guns all willy-nilly. We're gonna see some seasoned pros come into this tournament, right? And I think the main question that we all have to see is who's the better gunfighter out of Vega, right? And that is very interesting. Angel, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. We're going in a very exciting direction for the future of the community as a whole. I mean, I'm very, very excited and very happy.
And that's all that I have for you today on the First Analyst Show. Special thanks to my co-host Angel and the special guest of today, Boady, who will never come back on the show.
I hate you.
Have a good day, and watch out for UBAE next week.